Hey everyone. So, I know Christmas is over, but I never got a chance to wear this shirt. Um, we went out of town and went and visited family and friends, and I brought too many Christmas shirts, and I didn't get a chance to wear this. My wife wore it, but she wore it to bed one night because she was cold, and I never got to wear it. And it's a Sam Squatch, and I believe Christmas. Sam Squatch. All right, so let's talk about what I've been playing. Well, like I said last week, was it last week? Yes. We went out of town, went and visited family and friends, and I took with me my Steam Deck and my Evercade EXP, and a handful of Evercade games. So this is largely going to reflect that because we've only been back for a few days. And so most of what I've been playing was what I talked about last week. That being said, let's talk about the first thing that I'm still playing. I am still playing N Wiz on the Evercade. So I took a whole bunch of Evercade games. I actually had my cartridge case full of Evercade games. How many does it hold? It holds... let's see, it holds 8 in the pockets and then 2 more in the outer pocket. So I brought 10 cartridges with me, which I don't think I covered last week, all of the cartridges that I was planning on bringing. But even though I brought, all those cartridges, the one that I wound up playing the most was N Wiz, which I was a little bit surprised by. I was fully anticipating, getting out to our destination and sitting down and really playing Void Gore, but on the flight out, all I had was my Evercade. The Steam Deck is too big for airplanes. I'm 6'4". I've got broad shoulders. I take up way too much room in your typical airplane seat for me to also pull out a giant handheld and play it. So I wound up playing my Evercade EXP on the flight. And the one game that I played was N Wiz, and I loved it. And when I got to our destination and visited the family and friends that we were visiting, N Wiz, almost exclusively lived in my Evercade. And anytime I pulled it out, that's what I was playing. And like I said, I wasn't expecting that. But N Wiz is such an incredible game that, honestly, I really shouldn't be that surprised. I did encounter a strange bug that I think is exclusive to the Evercade edition. N Wiz, for those who might not know, was originally on the NES. It's a little, I guess I didn't say what it is. It's a little a platformer puzzler. It's very fun, very cute, very awesome. And it has a save state. So as you go along and you play in the game, it saves your progress to, battery backed up memory on the card. And obviously, on the Evercade EXP, it's emulating an NES, and also emulating the battery backed up storage. Anyway, the weird glitch that I encountered was it was like 36% completion, which I believe was like sometime in Chapter 2, and all of a sudden it just stopped updating the save file. Like, I would play for a few more minutes, or I'd play for half an hour or a little bit before going to bed or something, and then I'd turn off my EXP, exit the game, hoping that it's going to save. I'd turn off my EXP, and the next time I turned it on, all my progress hadn't been updated. It still was back at that previous save. And nothing I could do would make it update its save. Which, you know, that might be like a critical bug, a critical flaw, if it weren't for the fact that I was playing it on my Evercade, and the Evercade also has the ability to do save states, so I just wound up using the save states the rest of the trip. And I'm not done with N Wiz. I honestly don't know where I am right now. I haven't played it. Honestly, I haven't played it since I got back from the trip, since the last flight. So I don't remember how far along, how close I am to the end. If I were to guess, I'm probably 60 to 70% complete. It's something I could probably bang out in an afternoon or an evening if I were to, you know, sit down and really play it. But like I said, I haven't played it since I got back. But I do intend to go back and continue playing it and beat it because, man, I love it. I know I've already played it before, and I've already said that I loved it in the past. But I gotta be honest, it's been a bit since I played it, and I kind of forgot how fun it is. So yeah, Witch and Wiz for the Evercade. Great game. A lot of fun. Alright, so what's the next game I'm playing? Well, the next game I'm playing is still Lords of the Fallen. I'm playing it on the PlayStation 5. I'm playing it co-op with my friends. So obviously, I didn't play the PlayStation 5 version of Lords of the Fallen while I was traveling, because I didn't bring my PlayStation 5. But, you know, since I've been back, we have had 2 game sessions? I think 2. One was just last night, at the time of this recording, where we have played. And, you know, I don't know what else to say. It's a Souls-like. It's done by a smaller studio, so it's fairly janky. It's got really neat levels that have sometimes useless shortcuts in them, and it's, you know, it's a little janky. It's got, oh man, its targeting system is a nightmare. It really is. It will, like, you'll have your camera aimed at an enemy, and you're like, I want to target that enemy so I can attack it, and you'll click the stick to target the enemy, and it'll like swing your camera wildly around behind you and target something behind you. It is incredibly frustrating. But all of that being said, I still really, really love Lords of the Fallen. I'm having so much fun. It's a lot of fun to play with friends. The co-op is pretty painless, aside from the fact that you occasionally have to restart the game because it's seemingly like you'll play co-op with somebody and then you'll exit the co-op session and then it won't reconnect until you restart the game, which is baffling and stupid, but whatever. You know, in spite of all of the flaws, I am really, really enjoying Lords of the Fallen, and I would recommend it if you're looking for a Souls-like. There are great ones out there, you know, but if you've already played all the great ones, this one is an okay one, and I like it. Alright, so what's the next game that I'm playing? Well, the next game I'm playing is still Lords of the Fallen, except this time I played it on Steam. I played it on my Steam Deck. So, literally the night before we flew out, I was on my Steam Deck and I was like browsing through the sales because they had their big winter sale, and I noticed that Lords of the Fallen was not only a Steam Deck, I think it's Steam Deck verified. It's either verified or playable. I mean, I don't know what their definition is right now off the top of my head. I can tell you that it is very playable on the Steam Deck. Anyway, I noticed that it was also on sale on Steam, and I was like, you know what? I really want to keep playing this. I don't want to go a week and not play this. So I bought it on Steam, and the entire week that I was out and traveling, I had it running on my Steam Deck, and I started a new character, and I started a new game, and I've been playing it. And the thing that was kind of really fun about playing Lords of the Fallen on the Steam Deck was one of the persons we were going to travel to meet during this vacation was one of the friends that I'm playing Lords of the Fallen with on PlayStation 5. And Lords of the Fallen has crossplay, which meant that while I was visiting him, I was able to sit on his couch with my Steam Deck, play Lords of the Fallen, while he was playing Lords of the Fallen on the PlayStation 5, and we were playing it cooperatively. We were playing it together, like a really weird couch co-op, and it was so fun. it was kind of hilarious because I literally started the character like, I don't know, like the day that we got there. I didn't play my Steam Deck on the plane, so I probably didn't start my character until I actually got to the destination. But like, we started playing co-op on the first boss in that game for me, on my Steam Deck game. And by the time I left his house, we were there, 4 days, I think? 5 days? By the time I left his house, we had got my new Steam character up to where his character was on the PlayStation 5. Well, no, we got it to the last boss that we beat with his character, and then we got stuck and we couldn't beat the boss. And it was the what is it? Spurned Progeny. It's the fire boss that like fills up the arena with lava, and then your only options are to somehow range him. And we just couldn't beat him. So basically, after I left his place, I decided to go back and level up because I kind of had rushed through that, and I felt like I was a little bit underleveled. And eventually we did beat him, but I had to wait until I got back home and played it on Steam to beat it. But it's a great game, and I really enjoyed playing it on Steam and on the Steam Deck. It plays really well on the Steam Deck. I mean, it's an Unreal Engine 5 game, so it's incredibly demanding on like the PlayStation 5, and it's also incredibly demanding on the Steam Deck. You really do have to crank down the settings to make it playable. And even then, you get in certain areas like, Pilgrim's Perch with all the rain, and the frame rate completely tanks. But it's pretty playable. And, with the Steam Deck OLED, the new edition with the larger battery, I was able to get maybe about, an hour and a half worth of playtime before having to charge it, which is very respectable for this game. I don't know. I don't have anything else to really say. Oh, I guess I do have one slight complaint. So since coming back, I have my Steam Deck in a dock in my office where I work, and I have it hooked up to another monitor so that I can, while I'm doing work, if I want to turn over and play a game, I can. Which, I know I shouldn't do, but, sometimes you got, your code is building, and you're waiting for CI to complete. It's like a 30-minute process, and I will sit there and I will turn to my right and I will play a game now and then. Anyway, I tried to do that with Lords of the Fallen, and Lords of the Fallen on the Steam Deck refused to work properly with my external controller, and I don't know why. Like, all the other games work fine, but Lords of the Fallen absolutely would not work with my external controller. So there's obviously some sort of weird Steam Deck Lords of the Fallen bug that they'll probably never address, but because it's such an obscure edge case. But whatever. But yeah, I played it. I think that my Steam character is almost caught up to my PlayStation 5 character. It's one area behind my PlayStation 5 character. But yeah, for the next couple of weeks, I'm probably going to be reporting 2 different Lords of the Fallen games going, because I really, really love this stupid game. Lords of the Fallen. It's a blast. So the cats didn't really like us leaving. They didn't like being home alone for a week. And each of them, reacted to us being gone and then coming back in different ways. But one of them, Tink, who's normally a real sweet girl, but she can be a little bit of a pill. She's a little bit jealous of other cats. Plus, she's the one that always tries to escape. Like, if we open the front door, she goes out. And she goes out there and she, wants to come back in. She doesn't like it, especially now that it's cold. But she always wants to go outside. When she can't go outside, there's hawks that will eat her in our neighborhood. But anyway, one of the things that she does to, I don't know, I don't know what her little cat logic is, but her way of coping or telling us that she's happy we're back, I don't know. She brings us stuffed animals. Like, she will go get my daughter's stuffed animals and plushies, and she will drag them around, and you'll hear her, dragging things around, going, wow, wow, and, bringing it down to you. Anyway, down here in the basement, like my first night back that I was playing games, she brought all these stuffed animals. And they turned around at the foot of the stairs, all these stuffed animals. Anyway, she just brought this one down here. And it's a big spider, but it's a weighted spider. It's got like a beanbag or something in it. It's weighted. And I think you're supposed to be able to microwave it and it warms it up. I don't know. But it's giant and it's heavy. And I don't know how she carried this and brought this down the stairs, because she's a little kitty. I mean, she's not a kitty, but she's little. She's petite. She's our smallest cat. And yet she brought this giant, heavy, stuffed animal spider downstairs because she missed me. Anyway, that's it. I got nothing else. See ya.